but there are so many talented women, and it's a way we can use our talents to serve the church. And if you stand at the Analoyon, the Chanters stand for a year, you will have heard all of the theology of the church.
What's new with Eikona? We're going to find out today. Eikona and OCN have a long history together, both professionally and personally. I recorded Come Receive the Light CD with them in 1995 in Dallas, Texas. That was a long time ago. This year, OCN is celebrating its 30th anniversary. As we reflect on how our organization has grown, we must thank God and all those people and organizations who have contributed to our story. So thank you, first off. Let me share a little bit about Eikona. Eikona is three sisters who were raised in a musical family and love to sing. Their mission is to bring beautiful liturgical chant in English to the world. Their love of worship and desire to grow in their faith has inspired them to continue their music ministry over the past 30 years now. They have recorded 12 albums and a single, and now have an Eikona Daily Hymns app available on iTunes and Google Play. They tour the country, offering workshops, retreats, and concerts for the benefit of the faithful. Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity, Psalm 133. Let me introduce them to you now. Presbytera Stacy Dorrance is the head chanter and assistant choir director at her parish, St. Catherine in Greenwood Village, Colorado, and a private chant teacher over Zoom. She enjoys helping beautify the services musically and leading the congregation in worship and prayer. Presbytera Stacy is also a certified professional organizer, has founded a Christian online course called 6 Weeks to Sanity, and enjoys leading retreats on topics of prayer, worship, budgeting, time management, health, and home organization. Presbytera Marika and Father Jordan Brown serve at the Assumption Cathedral in Denver, where they both grew up. Presbytera Marika served as head chanter and choir director, as well as youth music and Christmas pageant director. She is also a seamstress and professional home manager. In addition to serving as a chanter, she also sings in the Denver choir. And Crisante Therianos is the senior choir director and chanter at Assumption of the Theotokos Metropolis of Denver Cathedral. She earned her certificate in Byzantine music from Holy Cross Greek Orthodox School of Theology and has composed music in four-part harmony for the Divine Liturgy based on Byzantine chant from the early 1900s, and is currently the president of the Metropolis of Denver Music Ministry. Outside of music, she enjoys gardening, homemaking, and improving her bowling score. Wow. Well, that's three very powerful ladies, and I have a feeling that aside from this music talent, you've got a lot of homemaking talent. So maybe in a different program, we'll talk about that. Let's start off with what's new with Eikona and what's next. Who wants to take that one?
Well, as you had mentioned, we actually put out our single on the Meeting of Our Lord. It's from the Meghalinarion, from the feast day of Ipapandiv on February 2nd. And so that's been out, and we're really excited to feature that. It's a beautiful, beautiful hymn. We also are offering a weekend still with Eikona, and we've really expanded that. We have interactive workshops. We have personal music coaching that we do. We'll go to a parish and we'll lead worship services and offer concerts. This past year, we've gone to Troy, Michigan, Holy Cross, Belmont, California. We've gone to Elgin, Illinois, and we sang with the Women's Byzantine Symposium there, the first one. It was fabulous. And we've also gone to Saints Constantine and Helen in Boise, Idaho. And all these places, we offer something different. We will work with our choirs. We will offer services. As I said, we did an IOCC benefit concert that was fantastic at Holy Cross. And lastly, we went to Norfolk, Virginia, and we offered a beautiful women's retreat. Our home is sanctuary. And so we're kind of going in a little different direction to encourage women to fill their homes with prayer, love, order, and beauty. That was a real fun one. And we were with about 85 fabulous women.
That's fabulous. That sounds very encouraging, because we know that music is definitely music to the soul as well. That music always can inspire. Stacy, let me ask you. I mean, how do you encourage people to have the confidence to step up to the chant stand or even join the choir? Because some people are they're very reserved. They say, "Oh no, I can't do that. I can't do that." How do you do?
Right, right. Oh goodness, there are so many ways that we can do that. First of all, I think we have to be a prayerful person who is identifying others who are also engaged in the worship services. And then you may notice that they sing, or maybe they approach you once and ask you, if they could be a part of the ministry. I think we have to pursue people who show an interest in chanting and music for the church for the sake of others who will benefit from their beautiful voices. We want to empower. We want to teach what the order of the services is. We want them to understand what it means to be a music minister, a person in the music ministry in the church, and the responsibility in that, and the high calling in that, in inspiring others to not only the priest but the congregation to elevate their music program and to find and execute beautiful music for the sake of the Lord. So we want to empower. We want to empower people. You can do this, but we have to educate them and engage them and communicate to them. So we want to elevate the whole process. At this point, it's been a little bit like there's the chanters, there's the choir, there's the priest, and we're really trying to help people to communicate more in a ministerial way so that we're communicating with each other and engaging, making sure that the schedule is filled, that people feel empowered and prepared to draw near to the chanter stand in the choir loft. It's an elevated position in the church. As chanters, we wear a black robe. It's like the lowest tonsured position within the priesthood in a sense. So those are the things that I think about.
And I know that there are people who probably want to go to the chanter stand,
Mhm.
and there are probably people that shouldn't go to the chanter stand
Mhm.
because they need to learn the music or they don't have a voice, they can't keep a pitch. So it can get a little tricky, and you have to encourage the right people, as you said, people of faith who can come forward and understand the complexity and also the huge responsibility of
Right.
going up there and singing these magnificent hymns that have been given to us over the centuries.
That's
Um,
why I said we have to prayerfully identify, because I agree with you 100%. Sometimes people have interest of being at the chanter stand, but it's not their gift. My husband always says that we want to have people on the bus, but we want to have them in the right seat on the bus. So
yeah.
you want to be engaged in those ministries that are really your talents. And so it is a process. And I believe prayer is at the foundation of it because as a leader, have a responsibility to the congregation and to the priest to provide beautiful music. And it doesn't happen coincidentally, it happens intentionally.
True, that's true. Well, Marika, let me come to you. Can you talk about how your work with Eikona over these 30 years now has helped you to learn the texts and even the liturgy of the church?
The great question. The truth of the matter is, just like children learn to count, the more we do something over and over, the more it seeps into our heart and becomes a part of who we are and a part of our identity. So by being an Eikona, as being a chanter of the church, when we go week by week, every service, it starts to seep in. And there's a beautiful saying, someone asked a priest, "Father, how do I learn the hymns of the church? Or how do I learn the theology of the church?" And if you stand at the Analoyon, the chanters stand for a year, you will have heard all of the theology of the church. So for me, part of being part of Eikona has simply been that we chant. We go to the services, we try to be faithful, and little by little it seeps in.
No, that's so true. That's so true.
May I add to that, Father Chris?
Sure.
When we began the second CD with you, that was our first full liturgical CD, and it was "Come Receive the Light," and it was the Orthros service of Matins for Pascha. It was the first time that we realized that there's a full canon. We weren't exposed to that. So all of these projects and these CDs that we've done over the years has been a real education for us because growing up, we didn't have these things in English. We didn't have any books to teach. We didn't have digital chant stands. So these are the beautiful things that we've learned along the way.
You know, that CD that we did together, there are priests now who still call me.
Oh.
They say that they play that in their car. Now, I guess it's in different forms, of course, than it was a CD. But they play that in order to learn how to chant Def te lava de fos, come receive the light, and all the hymns that you beautifully chanted afterwards. So that which we started, and I was humbled to come and join you with it, has now gone from generation to generation of young priests and young people who are working at the Chanter stand. And as you said, I mean, I grew up, God rest his soul, Mr. Muzmulis. He was our chanter. And he didn't speak a word of English. And he couldn't chant, God forgive me, to save his life. But he was so dedicated, and he was there every Sunday chanting, 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 chanting. Now, through people such as you and others, we're able to educate this next generation, which is in English, whether we like it or not. It's in English. People need to know what it is they're saying. What are they chanting? Crisanti, let me come to you for a minute. From your perspective, and the three of you working together, and all of you can chime in on this, what kind of tools do our churches need to encourage volunteer participation in music programs, increase their understanding, their participation within the entire congregation? Within the entire congregation. Go ahead.
Sure. So the tools as a musician, if I may speak as a musician, we have been blessed with beautiful resources. We started with beautiful resources like St. Anthony's Monastery, where they have all this beautiful music that's been transcribed from these beautiful protopsaltis from the early 1900s. We have digital chant stand. Father Seraphim so diligently and nonstop. He just produces these beautiful hymns. We have the new Byzantine publication by Stan and Takis, Stan and Nancy Takis. They've done such a beautiful job in putting these hymns. And so we can take these beautiful tools, but then we have to put it into practice. So as musicians, we have to practice. It just doesn't come. It takes work. It takes effort. We were really blessed because throughout our experiences, we've come upon these beautiful projects in our lives. When the three of us went to the Women's Chanting Symposium last year, there were these beautiful young women, in their 20s. They did not even realize that we did not have music when we began our ministry over 30 years ago. They didn't realize that when we did the small paraklesis, we were scribbling lines, say, go up here, go down here. We didn't have these beautiful tools. So these resources today are so incredible, but we have to be faithful. And as musicians, we have to practice, gather, and be prayerful to the best of our abilities.
Stacey, do you want to add anything to that?
Sure. I think one of the tools that we have that we maybe didn't have in the past was maybe a better understanding of what leadership is. I think it's a tool that we can use to improve our music program and our music ministry. Specifically, I think there's 4 pillars that we use in our metropolis, and I think they're really useful when you're evaluating your music ministry. Number 1 is you need to engage your musicians. Number 2 is you need to educate your musicians. You need to communicate to your musicians, and then you need to evaluate how you're doing as a group. And I think leaders train leaders, right? So I teach, maybe 30 students on Zoom, but that doesn't stop there. Now I am empowering them to be leaders in their parish and to engage, communicate, educate, and evaluate their music programs to improve what they have, to evaluate. Does this sound beautiful? We have it all over YouTube, all of us, all of our churches. Listen, how does it sound? There's tools that we have that can improve our music ministries. And I think the more we can plug into even the leadership tools that we have and the knowledge, and I know you're really keen on this, Father. We understand that you know about leadership, and we can start passing down and making things sustainable. We need to have a sustainable music ministry. We should always be replacing ourselves. That's part of our job in life as a Christian, as a leader in the Orthodox Church is to replace ourselves, you know.
When we were younger, we never saw women chanters. And today, like Chrysanthi mentioned, that beautiful symposium that we went to, it was unbelievable. It was geared toward women, but there are so many talented women, and it's a way we can use our talents to serve the church where we are uniquely welcome to do that. So it's been a thrill for us to be able to chant.
Well, Marika, I was coming to you next, but you jumped in beautifully, and I'm glad. Any other tools? Because you're right. I mean, it didn't have women going forward to the chanter stand.
Yes.
Yeah, and now it's welcome, and that's a beautiful thing. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, a women's choir, a male's choir, men and women together, that's fine. You know, raising their voice to praise God, that's a beautiful thing. But anything else? Any other tools that you can think of, Marika?
I think one of the most important tools is being able to read music. Our school systems used to really teach reading music, but today, like with, for example, Father Seraphim Didi's DCS, you can read the music in Western notation or Byzantine notation. If you're able to be a good note reader, there is virtually no liturgy or no service that you are not able to fully do properly, the right tones. So I feel like that tool in and of itself, the ability to read notes, is just, that is the tool, I think, beyond tools. It's the one thing that I have in
That's
my
very good.
belt,
Very
thank God.
Well, you know, I'm going to have to say goodbye to you now. And I want to thank you, the three of you and your family, for what you have done for the Orthodox Christian Church in America. I'm indebted to everyone at the Assumption Cathedral for the 5 blessed years I had serving there. Now, one of my altar boys, Father Jordan, is now the Poristameno. So things change, as Stacy mentioned. We train the next leaders. And I'm so pleased and humbled to see the wonderful things that are happening out there. Please, Chrysanthi, tell us, where can people get more information about what you're doing? Where can they sign up? Where can they sign up for retreats? This would be wonderful to have you visit the parishes.
You can always go to our website, eikona.com, Eikona. You can find our music on Spotify, on Amazon, on YouTube. And we always are interested in coming to your parish and offering concerts, workshops. We will work with your choir individually, your chanters. We will give you a workshop on how to be a good musician, how to sing, how to work, and get all of your beautiful ministry together and to work well together. So just give us a call. We're here for you.
Thank you, ladies. God bless you.
Thank you, Father.
Alla Pascha.